folks like Bank of America see 7 hikes this year. So aggressive hiking into what looks to be right now in the here and now a slowing economy and trying to achieve a soft landing seems increasingly challenging for Jay Powell ahead of his second term. What do you think?
I'd start with the last thing you said, a slowing economy. It is slowing from what happened last year, of course, but it is still a very strong economy. We're seeing, a very solid earnings season. We're seeing consumer spending moving along at a pretty good clip, and a strong jobs report last week. So I think what we tend to forget looking beneath the top line is that the top line is still pretty strong. Having said that, of course, the Fed has to navigate some of these inflationary fears, and they've picked up a lot, and those expectations, as you say, have picked up a lot in the last few weeks. I think what's important, though, to look at is the likely trajectory through the end of the year. We've got very high inflation right now, 7% CPI. Nobody really expects it to stay that high going through the end of the year. And while the Fed may feel a need to start hiking in March, which I think is likely, it's hard to imagine they're going to feel behind the curve in the third and fourth quarter if inflation is really starting to come down decisively, as we think it will.
Inflation coming down decisively. I mean, part of the problem, of course, is supply chain kinks, et cetera, which may smooth themselves out. And if they do, that's great, right? The other part of it that a lot of people are more worried about is structural and less easy to unwind. I mean, we've been talking about the great resignation, right? Demographics in the U.S., people who are they're bailing from the workforce because it's just their time in life, right? That's not going to resolve itself in a couple of months, is it?
It is not going to resolve itself, but I would just caution to say they're not all bailing. I mean, some of us still have to come to work. Some of us still need to earn a paycheck. And I think there has been a shift. A number of people have left the workforce for a lot of reasons that have been well reported. But I think you also saw, along with that very strong jobs report last week, a significant increase in the participation rate up to, I think it's 62.3%, which included both women, prime age workers. I think we're seeing the beginnings of the healing of the workforce. Those people who were perhaps staying home because of Omicron, childcare issues, other elder care issues are beginning to find a way back to the workforce. And I think that's going to take some of the steam off of the wage pressures we've seen lately.